Hello universe, Character King here. This is a video response to one of my favorite YouTubers, Michael Buckley of WhatTheBuck, a tag video that he put out there called First Time, although it should be called First Times. I'm just giving him a hard time. I adore Michael Buckley. I will put his video link below so you can go check it out. And if you want to do a video response to this video, feel free to. This is sort of a fun tag video, and you might as well participate, because all you're doing otherwise is sitting there watching me! Not that that's a bad thing. It's a good thing. Watch a lot. Watch all you want. I'll make more. I'll just start doing this, okay? Alright, so first time. Here we go. First date. My first date was when I was 14 years old and I was in high school. I was a freshman and I was getting jiggy with a senior. She was 17. Yeah. But she had some reservations about guys in general. She had had some bad experiences with guys, unfortunately. And she was a pretty... she was a nice young lady, but the first date we ever had, we went to see a movie. And we held hands and stuff like that, but we never like made out or anything like that. I remember sitting out in front of a bench at North Cross Mall and kind of looking at her and wanting to kiss her, but it was just so awkward, and just awkward. And I have to be, mention how shallow I was at the time, because I really liked her. She was really cute. She was really fun, and she had, really large memories. So next is my first kiss. My first official kiss was with my first official girlfriend after Andrea, and her name was Marie, and I kissed Marie. We were at this sort of convention or this what do you call it, training thing for young people who were wanted to get into the workforce. It was like this weekend workforce training thing or whatever. And they had a dance on Saturday night, and I think we made out after we kissed at the dance, but I remember that we were all staying in hotel rooms, and we kind of hung out and had fun after that. And she and I didn't drink, but a lot of people were like, oh, let's drink and get excited. They were, 15, 16, people who really wanted to experience what it was like to drink and such. We weren't doing that. And at one point we were, in a hotel room, and that's not where I had other first times with her, but that's where we, made out. Next is my first word, probably something stupid or, normal, like dada, or, well, no, it wasn't dada. That would have been called Houdini, but I was mama or, poop. My first pet, that's a precarious one because it could be seen as a couple of things. The first real pet official pet that was mine would have been a fish, and that was in 2004. And it was, I don't know, it was, basically a little goldfish that I had gotten from one of my exes. She wasn't my ex at the time, but she gave me a fish that died. No, she gave me a fish that was from her grandparents' pond, and he lived for about a month. And then he died, and I don't even remember his name, unfortunately. But I do remember that we buried him underneath a rock outside of my old complex in sort of the breezeway area. We buried him under there. So if you ever find a dead fish, that is mine. I think he's probably dissolved by this point, but that was my dead fish when he was alive. Other than that, would have probably been, like, long-term pet would have been the dog Slider that I co-adopted with one of my other exes. And when we broke up, I wasn't persistent enough, even though I really cared for him. I wasn't persistent enough to demand that he stay with me. I tried to be understanding because I really was the one who broke off the relationship. And now you know more than you probably wanted to know. My first fear, although because this is more your biggest fear, I would say, I think probably it was snakes. This is not my biggest fear right now is not snakes, but definitely snakes and spiders, because spiders and snakes, creepy crawly things would have been the answer, because I have a sight issue, and so I can't see certain things. So when people were talking about how deadly black widows were, and we had black widows where I was when I grew up, and talking about snakes and all that stuff, it scared the crap out of me when I was a kid. My first job, I'm not sure if it was one or the other, but it was either when I did a commercial, a non-union commercial, when I was 17, and I got paid $550 essentially to say the line "radical dude" in a commercial at the old Austin airport, when it was still the Austin airport, in the executive lounge. So I did that. It was either that or working at HEB as a courtesy clerk. I liked the first one, the thing at HEB. I wasn't able to stay in that. I wasn't happy in it. My first car didn't actually come until I was about 20 or 32 or 33. I can't remember which age. 2009. 32. And it was a Dodge Dakota, and it was a piece of junk. Next is my first cell phone. I don't know what the brand was. I know it had a green display on it at the time. You know, when you turn it on, it had a green display. The phone book was, you could only hold like 10 phone numbers in it at the time, and it was just, archaic technology by today's standards, and I think it was like that thick and that tall. It was pretty big. It was basically like what a small house phone would look like nowadays. But that was the mobile phones back then, and I was just excited to have one. I felt so cool. And then I tried to go to a pager, and that didn't work out well. And I went back to phones. I've had so many cell phones over and over again. But now, strangely enough, I'm recording you on a cell phone, my iPhone. Look at what technology has become. My first girlfriend, don't know why this wasn't up there with first kiss and first date, but whatever. Marie was my first girlfriend, the one I made out with at that seminar training weekend thing, and she was my first girlfriend. She was a lot of firsts for me, Marie was. Yeah. My first YouTube video, this is kind of one where it's like, was it made for YouTube or was it made just posted? I'm going to go with the one I first made, which was the video I posted about my 2012 New Year's resolutions on January 1st of 2012, none of which I accomplished. First album I ever bought was The Monkees. Hey, hey, we're the Monkees, and people say we monkey around. And it was like $11 back in 1988 or 1989. And it was off of an infomercial. They were like, you can get the classic hits of the Monkees. And I used to adore the Monkees. I used to watch the TV show on The Godfather. I used to watch the TV show on Nickelodeon. But I used to watch it on Nick at Night when it was on Nick at Night back in the late 80s. And yeah, that was my first album, was the Monkees. I was happy to spend the money though, because I really liked the Monkees. Still do like the Monkees, actually. And my first tweet, I don't tweet. I do Facebook, but I don't really get into tweeting. I mean, I've got a Twitter account. I don't know what the first thing I tweeted was maybe something like, I'm here, or, I mean, it wasn't anything, consequential. It's like, I'm finally on Twitter, or I have no idea what I wrote, but it was, I don't spend enough time on Twitter. I don't. I'm Facebook, and I'm YouTube. And if you don't like it, then that's fine. Just saying. All right, that's it for my video response to Michael Buckley's first time tag, and thank you for doing it, Michael. Buck is just one of the funniest guys out there on YouTube. I highly encourage you to check him out, not to mention the fact that he's pretty forthright about who he is and how he sees the world, and I like that. So, thanks for watching. Go make a video response to this if you like below. Feel free to put your list down below if you don't want to do a video response, but it's just something fun to do. Why not? You're just sitting there watching me otherwise. Participate. Participate. Doesn't make any sense. Alright. Happy New Year. Take care of yourselves and live with passion. See you later.